What if the success you're chasing will never make you happy? And I know that feeling because I chased it for years and it led me to some pretty dark places. So, in this video, I'll show you how I changed my definition of success and how that might change everything for you. Hey everyone, Mark here. In this episode of Mindset of a Musician, I want to talk about success. And I've been chasing it ever since I was a teenager, starting my first band. And to this day, I haven't reached the version of success I once had in mind. Touring in front of sold out crowds, having a big fan base, millions of streams. And a few years ago, that would have made me feel like a failure, unfulfilled, frustrated. But today, I don't feel that way anymore. So if you're an aspiring musician or artist, chasing your own version of success, this video is for you. So let's start with a simple question. What does success really mean? My definition of success as an artist stayed the same for almost 15 years. Making a living from my own music, touring, building an audience, having people take something meaningful away from what I create. But to this day, I haven't really reached that version of success. And for a long time, that made me a very unhappy person. Because the way we define success in our society is mostly based on outcomes. Money, status, numbers, streams, followers, and fame. So if a person has all of that, we call them successful. But here's the question. If that person had to sacrifice their health, their relationships, and their peace of mind, is that person really successful? In terms of status, yes. But in terms of contentment and fulfillment, probably not. And of course, that's not always the case. But if you look at enough biographies, you'll see that pattern again and again. So at some point, I had to ask myself, what does success really mean to me? And don't get me wrong, I haven't given up on my dreams. I still want to tour, I still want to grow my music, but I stopped measuring success by things I can't control. Because here's the truth. If your definition of success depends on things you can't control, you will always feel behind. And that's why we need to redefine success. There's always a path that leads to success. And in most cases, that path is shaped by trial and error, failures, discipline, commitment, and consistency. And we call that path the process. It's what you do every single day, often for years, before you ever reach your big goal. And I made a whole video about the process. I'll link it up here. So now here's the problem. If your definition of success is still based on what society tells you, you might end up like I did, unfulfilled, unbalanced, and unhappy. But everything changed when I redefined success, when I stopped measuring it by outcomes and started measuring it by what I can control. Did I work on a new song today? Did I practice my instrument? Did I show up and create or post something valuable? If the answer is yes, that is success. If you define it by execution, you can succeed every single day. If you define it by outcome, you might feel like you're failing, even when you're doing everything right. So that's the trap. So I strongly encourage you to redefine your success. Move it away from external validation and toward your daily process. Because here's the good news. You can succeed every single day, even before you reach your big goal. And when you eventually do reach it, it won't be luck. It will be the result of showing up again and again and again. And there's a simple tool that helped me become aware of that, which is a success journal. A success journal is a simple but powerful tool to become aware of your small wins every day, because those small wins are the foundation of your big goals. Here's how it works. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you succeeded in. They don't have to be big. It could be practicing guitar for 15 minutes on a busy day, writing just 1 new line for a song, posting something meaningful that might help someone else. When I started doing this, I struggled with it because those things didn't feel like success to me, but they are. And you have to learn to value them because they are the building blocks of real success. So now you have a choice. You can either appreciate those small wins and find joy in the process, or you can only focus on the big goals and feel like you're failing every single day. And don't limit this to music. Write down small wins from other areas of life as well. Maybe you went for a run. Maybe you said something kind to someone. Or maybe you invested time in learning something new. Whatever it is, write it down. And if you can't come up with 3 things, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. But use it as motivation to show up differently the next day. And over time, this becomes powerful because you'll have proof. Proof that you're showing up. Proof that you're moving forward. And slowly, your focus will shift from chasing big goals to appreciating the small steps that get you there. So let's talk about the reality of success and why it really matters. As we've seen in this video, success is something you define for yourself. And by society standards, I haven't made it yet. Maybe I never will, maybe I will. But here's the difference. Today, I'm not chasing success anymore. I'm living it. I find joy, fulfillment, and happiness in the routines and small wins I show up for every single day. Because I've shifted my focus to what I can actually control. But it comes with a price. It requires being okay with failures, staying disciplined, committed, and consistent over a long time, maybe even a lifetime. And the truth is, every path to success comes with a sacrifice. We all know stories of people who made it on the outside and yet struggle with addiction, with depression, and with emptiness. So how can that be? If they reach everything we're supposed to want, to me, there was the answer because it showed me that external success alone is not enough. That's why my definition of success is built on something else. It is built on happiness, true fulfillment, and contentment. And that is internal success. If external success follows one day, I'll appreciate it, like a medal, but I won't depend on it. So I hope this video gave you a new perspective on what success can really mean. If it did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to dive deeper into topics like this, please join me in my Mindset Monday newsletter. Link is in the description. And I'm really curious, how do you define success? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to read your thoughts and stories. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.